Good morning. Today is the 19th Sunday of church time. In the Bible, there's many different stories and events, but today's first reading is one of my favorite, maybe it's truly my favorite story taken from the whole Bible. It is the story about a man named Elijah, and I'm going to sign Elijah. Elijah himself was a prophet. During his time of prophecy, there was a lot of persecution. And what happens is that Elijah sees that all the other prophets are dead. The king, the queen have killed them all. And Elijah is the only prophet left. Elijah looks at his world and sees it's just totally upside down, that evil really has kind of taken over people's lives. People don't believe in God, they don't worship God. And so Elijah just feels kind of fed up. And he says to God, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm leaving. And so Elijah travels and he arrives at a mountain, and he goes up on the mountain and he goes into a cave, and he just sits there like, I'm done. I don't care, God. You don't care about me. You don't care about what I'm doing. I'm done. You should be doing your work to change the world, to change people's lives. And he sits there. Well, eventually, God calls him, says, Elijah, come out here. So Elijah, he gets up and he walks out and he stands there. And the reading says, first there's this really powerful wind, and this wind is just, shaking everything. But God is not in the wind. And then there is an earthquake, and the rocks are falling down, and the earth is cracking and opening, and everything is unstable. But God is not in the earthquake. And finally, there's this terrible fire, and this fire is just consuming everything and burning everything down. And God is not in the fire. And finally, the reading says, there's this little whisper. You almost can't hear the sound. And it says, Elijah covers his face because God is there. I think this story helps me because sometimes I get really frustrated with God. I look around the world, I see COVID, I see hunger, I see war, I see the injustice that's out there. And I say to God, what are you doing? Where are you? Why are you not doing your work? And then I realize that God is here. And God is at work, but often we overlook God because we're looking for the big thing. We want the noise, we want the thunder, we want the action, but that's not God. Think about the gospel today. The apostles of Jesus are in this boat. And the boat is going up and down because there's a whole storm, and the apostles are afraid they're going to drown, and everything's just thrown up for grabs. And Jesus comes, and he looks at the apostles and says, it'll be okay. The apostles say, what? And Jesus gets into this boat, and he says, peace. And peace happens. In my life, I have to keep learning to pay attention to God, especially when God is working in the little things of life. If you remember a few weeks ago, Jesus tells his apostles, who can be saved? And Jesus says, if a person offers a cup of cold water to a person who's thirsty, that person is my follower. It is those little things in life, the little helps and kindnesses and patience and forgiveness and mercy that we offer other people that really is God's work and doing God's work. What will happen with the world, I can't control. You can't control. But we can, with our own efforts, our own little ways of service and kindness and care, can bring God into people's lives and into our world.